Hello, I'm Sandy. I am the oldest, but the most beautiful. And since 1980, every year I sit in a chair and I say next year I'm going to be 100 pounds lighter. Obviously, I haven't lost 100 pounds. If I have, boy, I was really big. But in that regard, I have lost 100 pounds, if not more than 100 pounds. Unfortunately, I gained back the 100 pounds. I lose it 10 pounds, I gain 15. Then I lose 15, and then I gain 10.
Well, that was me. That was the summer before I joined Weight Watchers. I probably weighed, easily 305, 306 pounds, if not 310. I can't really remember. I just know that I was big. And so then I went on a diet, and I did. I went on a diet because I was going to lose some weight. And then by Christmas, I just realized, I need to do something. I need to do something about this. And so I joined Weight Watchers with my sister Denise, my sister Mary, and my daughter Christy. We joined on December 31st, 2016. And slowly but surely they fell to the wayside and they quit. But I stuck with it, and I'm really glad I did. I have lost a total of 77 pounds. When I weighed in the other day, when I finally did go to Weight Watchers on December 31st, I weighed 304.2. I even hate saying that out loud. And then when I went to my Weight Watchers meeting this past week, I weighed 227.2. So I've lost exactly 77 pounds. I've actually probably lost 80 because I think I was heavier, because I did lose a little bit of weight before I went. But officially from Weight Watchers, that's what I've lost. It's been slow, as you can see. It'll be 2 years in December. But I'm losing it at the pace I want. I don't consider myself that I'm on a diet. I'm on a weight loss program. I'm on a freestyle lifestyle. I'm just on a lifestyle change. And I'm very slow moving. Very, very slow moving. But along the way, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning that I can do this. I can lose the weight. I can enjoy my life. I'm still going to have what I want. I do have my unfortunate binges. I do have those. But I think everybody does if they're really true to themselves and really think about it. I think the fact that this past month I basically lost a half a pound a week. And in the past, that would have been enough to discourage me from sticking with it. And I would have said, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. This is a waste of time. No, I've learned along the way that I can enjoy my life and lose my weight slowly but steady. I have saggy skin because of age, not because of loose skin from losing weight. And I think the fact of that is the fact that I'm losing it slow. So my body, the skin can kind of adjust to it. But anyway, I'm really glad I'm on this program. I'm really glad that I'm on this lifestyle. It's one I'm going to follow the rest of my life. That's why I don't consider it a diet. I eat what I want when I want it, and I just get right back on track. The old Sandy would have waited probably until the following week or the following Monday, because Monday always seems to be the diet day you start on. And I don't do that anymore. If I screw up on a Saturday, I get right back on a Sunday. If I screw up on a Sunday, I get right back. Well, I shouldn't say that. But my Sandy September, so my September Sandy's going to do that. But I always do really well Monday through Friday. Excellent. But this month I'm going to do better on the weekends. But anyway, I am 68 years old. Well, no, I'm not 68. I'm 67. I'm not going to be 68 until Friday, September 7th. I was born in 1950. I'm the oldest of 6 children. I was born in 1950. My brother Michael was born in 1952. My sister Susan was born in 1953. She passed in 2015 from complications of diabetes. My brother Pat was born in 1957, and he passed in 1954 due to alcohol related, because he was an alcoholic, which runs in my family, which is one of the reasons I don't drink. I don't know how to stop, so I don't start. I've had a few instances in my past, and it just made me realize that, no, I can't. And if I was to drink, vodka would be my drink. I can drink it straight. And at another time, I will tell you a drinking-related story, but not today. But I will tell you about a drinking story, which made me realize that I can't take that first drink. But anyway, back to, and then my sister Mary, whose real name is Catherine. My grandmother's name was Catherine. I think my mother very reluctantly had to name her Catherine, but and then she always called her Mary. So, but Mary was born in 1958. My mother lost a child in 1959, and then my sister Denise was born in 1960. So, and that's the way that goes. My original channel, my other channel, Let's Get Fit, was actually started by my sister Denise, and she started the channel when she joined Weight Watchers, and she just kind of dragged me along, and at first I didn't want to be on it. You can see how reluctant I was when I did that opening video. I just really didn't want to do it, and then I became a ham. It consumed me, and I did it all the time, and so then she decided she didn't want to do videos anymore, and so she let me take over the channel. The problem being is she has an AdSense account where you get paid for the ads. I'm not going to be like, don't quit your day job type of money. I mean, I make a little bit of money a month, but it's all the taxes come out of Denise's name. So I always had to pay her the taxes, and my tax accountant told me that it would be better to have it in my own name since Jim and I are retired. Our taxes aren't as high, or we're in a different bracket or something because, you know, her and her husband make more money. So we've been trying all year to change. We started in February, and we tried every month to try to change the AdSense. She was able to transfer the ownership of the channel over to me, but we could never transfer the YouTube, the AdSense account. So that's why I started this channel, because I want to just do my own AdSense account. That in a nutshell. And then I met Jim in 1967, January 18th. It was a Wednesday. I met him at school. I met him when I was a junior in high school. And when I was in high school, I suffered panic attacks. And I was taking some medication and things like that. And I always had this, you know, fear of being alone. I just never really liked it. And then Jim was drafted in 1969, and it was funny because we both decided that we were going to be married, but we were going to wait till he got out of the service. But in the meantime, we were still going to date other people just in case it didn't work out, you know, like, you know, just to make sure that this is really, really who you want to marry. And Jim dated a girl named Sandy, and I dated a guy named Jim. So it was just coinks. But then we got back together, and we got married on July 2nd, 1971. And I was still working, and I was going to college at the same time. And I was going to college, and I had a panic attack, a really bad one on the way to school, and had to pull off to the side of the road, and I really thought I was going to be dying. I really, really did. And from that moment on, I was afraid to be alone. I could never be alone. And to the point that when Jim would go to work in the morning, he would drive me to my mother's house because we lived in an upper flat. And he would drop me off at my mother's house. And I would stay there until I had to go to work. And then my mother would drive me to work. And when I was at work, I was fine. Because as long as I was around other people, I was fine. I just couldn't be alone. And I could function at work, and I could function wherever, as long as I had someone right there with me. And it was just the worst feeling. I guess it's called monophobia, I think it is, because you fear of being alone. And I was just petrified of being alone. I just never wanted to be alone. And then I worked up until 3 days before Jimmy was born. Jimmy was born on the 6th of October. I worked until the 3rd of October. And after he was born, Jim took like a couple days off to be home with me. And then every morning I would pack up Jimmy with the diaper bag and everything, and I would go to my parents' house, and I'd stay there until Jim got home. And then we would have dinner with my parents, and then we would go back home, and I'd stay with Jim. If I was shopping with someone, if we were like in this department, like we were looking at socks at this shelf, and you walked over there to look at shirts on that shelf, I'd have to walk with you. I couldn't stay here by myself. I just couldn't. Everything would close in on me, and I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it was, and I would be so afraid. And then when I got pregnant with Danny, and Jimmy was born I told you October 6th, 1972. He's my oldest son. And then when my second son was, then I had a miscarriage. In December, well, my baby would have been born December 19th, 1973. I remember things like that. And so every December I kind of think of my baby that that didn't make it. But anyway, that's kind of sad. But you know, it's just I'll see him when I get to heaven, or her, whatever it was. But and then Danny was born in April 18th, 1977. By that time, we were getting a house. In 1976, we were going to rent a house. And Jim was just tired of driving me all the time. So my sister Mary came to live with me. And Mary worked afternoons and Jim worked days, so that worked out perfect because when Jim was getting home, then Mary would be going to work. And then my daughter Christy was born March 11th, 1981. And Mary was still living with me. And I thought, well, you know, I think she's just going to always live with me. And then my father passed December 30th, 1983. And it was just, I put on a lot of weight. I put on 75 pounds for Danny. But I never really lost it. And then I put on even more weight when my father passed. And then in 1986, we bought a house that was probably about 15 minutes away from my mother. And at that point, Jim said, you know, I'm tired of driving you. You have to get over this. I'm just done with this. And so I said, yeah, okay. So with a lot of strong prayer. And I was watching a Phil Donahue show. And there was people on there talking about this fear. And then I realized that I wasn't crazy, that there's other people in the world that do have that problem. So I sucked it up, buttercup, and I did a lot of prayer, and that helped me get through it. And then along the way, I've joined Weight Watchers I don't know how many times. I've just, you know, a funny story too about going back. When Jim met me, he met me with my best friend, Sue, and he went out with her instead of me. He says he didn't go out with her, but I remember that he did go out with her once because we had a fight. And then I went out with Jim. I couldn't stand him. But we been together for 51 years, because we met, I told you, January 18th, 1967. So we've been together 51 years. And I'm still friends with Sue, and we're still friends together. We do things, like we go to the reunions and things like that. We see each other. Her brother married Bertie. Bertie ended up divorcing him, but I mean, her brother and Bertie were married, so it was kind of like a family connection with that. Bertie is my sister-in-law. You'll see a lot more of her. She's Jim's sister, and it's Birdie, like a bird. And don't call her Bert, because she don't like that. But I call her Bert. And then Jim has a sister and a brother that he doesn't really see that much. They live on the other side of town, and he's just not close with them. I'm very close with my family. You'll see a lot of my videos with my family. I have 5 grandchildren. David is my oldest. He's 17, and his birthday is April 27th, 2001. And then Sebastian is my second. No, I take that back. Alyssa is my second. She's my granddaughter, and she was born May 22nd, 2007. And then Sophia was born. She's my third. She was born June 18th, 2010. And then Sebastian was born May 9th, 2011. And Oliver was born June 25th, 2012. So David and Alyssa belong to Jimmy, and Christy has Sophia, and Danny has Sebastian and Oliver. And Shannon is married to Danny, and Aaron is married to Christy, and Sam is living with Jimmy, because Jimmy's divorced from David and Alyssa's parents. Yeah, what else can I tell you about me? I love doing these videos. I absolutely love them. I'm such a ham. I really am such a ham. And I love your comments. I do feel like we're having a one-on-one conversation. A lot of times you apologize to me for your comments being so long, and I just think that we're having a little chit-chat, and that doesn't bother me. So don't ever think that your comments are too long. And I'm going to stick with this for the long haul, because I am going to lose my 100 pounds, like I said in that video. It's been like my brother Michael bet me $100 that if I lost 100 pounds, he'd give me $100. And this was back in 1981 or 82. Never thought he'd have to pay up, but I'm getting close. He's getting nervous. He's getting really nervous. So if you have any other questions about me, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do another video. I think I pretty much covered my life. I don't know, but if I didn't, I'm free to answer any questions that you have. So leave me a like. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment and share if you think somebody might be interested in this old gal.